Hi everyone, it's Christine again with another episode of Southside Selections. Today I will be talking about some books that are great recommendations for beach reads since there is still plenty of time to take a trip to the beach this summer. All the books I will be talking about are available through the Bethlehem Area Public Library. So the first book is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and I actually started reading this earlier this summer and I became hooked very quickly. It's often misinterpreted as young adult fiction because the main character is 19 when the series starts. However, it's definitely much more adult. It gets spicier as the series progresses, if you catch my drift. The first book follows a girl named Feyre who is whisked away to the immortal fairylands as punishment for killing a wolf, and she soon develops feelings for the fairy Tamlin, who is holding her captive in his castle. If that doesn't already sound familiar to you, it's a very loose retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and it's an excellent blend of fiery romance, fantastic world building, and probably some of the best character development that I have seen in a long time. There are currently 5 books in the series with plans for more, and I devoured them all. So the second book is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, and I am a huge Riley Sager fan. I've read most of his books at this point, and this is probably one of my favorites of his. 15 years ago, Emma Davis was a young teen attending a summer camp, and she was the last person to see her 3 bunkmates before they disappeared and were never seen again. Present day, Emma is invited to work as a camp counselor at the same summer camp. And when another 3 girls go missing, she races to discover clues about what happened to her friends 15 years ago, as well as struggles to clear her name when blame begins to fall on her for both disappearances. Sager definitely keeps you guessing until the last few pages, and the book switches between the past and the present. So if you enjoy that kind of writing style, this book is definitely for you. The next book is Magpie by Elizabeth Day. And this book was actually released in the US in May, I believe. And it's probably one of my favorite reads of the year so far. The story follows Marissa and Jake, who welcome a new roommate named Kate just to help pay the bills so that they can save some money to begin trying for a baby. Marissa quickly becomes unsettled by how Kate seems to really push the boundaries and gets near obsessed with Marissa, Jake, and their unborn baby. As tensions run high, Marissa can't help but wonder who Kate really is and how she could possibly know so much about her family. Absolutely nothing is as it seems with this book, and I found my jaw literally dropping once the truth was revealed, as cliche as that sounds. But I read so many thrillers that not much really surprises me at this point, but this twist was genuinely a shocker for me. If you enjoy books that deal with family drama, dysfunctional relationships, and secrets that really need to be spilled, definitely check out Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. In 1983, 4 famous siblings gather for a summer party, and they must face the scrutiny of party guests as well as each other. Nina has just been publicly abandoned by her husband. Hud has a long kept secret that he really needs to reveal to his twin, Jay. Jay can't wait until the girl that he is obsessed with makes an appearance. And Kit has invited a certain guest without letting anyone else know. And I'm assuming it's an unwanted one based on the vibes that I'm getting. The party quickly spirals out of control, and by morning, the family mansion is up in flames. There are 2 interwoven plot lines, so things kind of flip flop. You're taken through the day of the party hour by hour, as well as given the history of the family while learning what motivates them and how they got where they are before the party begins. So the next book is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmas. And Elizabeth Zott is a chemist working at the Hastings Research Institute in the 1960s. And she really isn't interested in marriage, children, or really any part of domestic life. She really struggles to get her male colleagues to take her seriously, except for one. Calvin Evans sees what she's capable of, and a romance ensues. Flash forward a few years later, and Elizabeth finds herself a single mother who somehow ends up hosting a cooking show. Elizabeth never wanted to be a mother in the first place or be famous, but she finds herself not only teaching women how to cook, but also how to ruffle the feathers of a society that doesn't really appreciate women or realize what they're capable of. Goodreads describes Lessons in Chemistry as a great pick for those who are fans of the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Finally, the last book is The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller. It's described as tender yet devastating and follows 50-year-old Elle during her vacation at her family's summer home known as the Paper Palace. Elle finds herself in a pretty complicated situation after she has a passionate night with her childhood friend Jonas, who, along with his wife, is vacationing with Elle and her husband. So, over the course of a day, Elle is forced to decide if she wants to stay with her husband Peter or if she wants to nurture the life she could have had with Jonas had a tragic event not ripped them apart when they were younger. As Elle ultimately comes to her decision, we learn what all has led to this moment and why she makes the choice that she does. So those are all of the books I will be talking about today. I hope at least one of them caught your interest and that you come and check them out. Again, all of the titles I mentioned are available through the Bethlehem Area Public Library. And as always, absolutely ask us for recommendations because we love to share what we're reading. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.